Hi and welcome to Life Training Centre. My name is Tabang and I'll be your host for the season. In this podcast, we plan to present to you how to start, run and scale the cleaning business. In studio today, to help us dissect, we have Zak from Amorata. Shapedi?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for inviting me on the first podcast.
Yeah.
That is on its road to making history. So,
Thank you for honoring the invite.
grateful to be here.
You know, when we first discussed this initiative, Chris and I, we thought maybe a chalk and board school. They was like, no, let's do virtual school. Then we said, no, maybe we'll hold a CEO's corner where every Friday, he does a video on YouTube. Then we thought, no, maybe let's do a CEO's letter, write a letter and prepare a letter and put it on Twitter. And then we settled on, no, let's actually set up a podcast.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, of all the companies you could have thought of starting, why cleaning?
Why cleaning? I like that. The true story is that they were a cleaning company that came to my house to do my couches. And I was actually fascinated at the passion they actually put in just cleaning couches. And I also looked at, it didn't seem like a business that was very expensive to start. And I think that's another thing that, stops many entrepreneurs, that they think starting a business, you need a lot of money to fund an idea or to fund whatever hustle that is. Because to me, I saw it as a side hustle. So to answer your question, I love the passion the couch cleaners would, showing when they clean my couch. But also, we got to a point where in South Africa, at my household, we needed a side hustle. So that's when the idea of going into clean carpets, upholstery, and couches came. From the passion of those guys putting in cleaning and wanting additional income, which was the side hustle. Yeah, that's what.
I got you. And the nice thing about the cleaning industry is that from the stoop from Magoko to a company as big as Louis Giffen International could, request your services. On Louis Giffen, we got a call from them not so long ago, asking us if we were the company that came to clean their carpets about 2 or 3 months back, because they had flooding at the office, and said, "Are you guys the same guys we used about 3 months ago?" And I was like, no. We didn't use us 3 months ago, but we help you to help. And it got me thinking, how important is a name? How much time should you spend in thinking about the name of the company so that it's easy for your clients to remember? So how important is a name?
I like that question. But if you look at the name of, me and my wife's company, it actually goes against what your question. What do I mean by that? Amorata is a break of our two daughters' name, Amogelang, Lerato. So you're taking pieces from each name. So obviously, to be honest, in the cleaning world, that's got nothing to do with cleaning.
Yes.
But if you look at Clean It All, your company and other people's companies, you got, I don't want to be marketing other people's brands, but other names have to do something with cleaning. And their coloring was also important. The white and the blue shows cleanness. And hygiene, those are the right colors to use. And we are going against the opposite. So truth be told, my wife, actually, she comes from a fashion background. So to her, anything that she's going to, like decor, anything that she's going to do, she needs to be fashionable about it. There's nothing fashionable about cleaning. Cleaning is all about hygiene and being clean. So your question is a good question, but it's directed to the wrong company because the idea was not there of the name. But to be honest, a name has to be catchy, you're right. A name has to be that name where people, when they click their fingers, try to remember it, it must come up within the first 5-10 seconds. But it also helps with the SEO in searching with Google. So even though our company name goes against your question, for the viewers out there and who are going to watch this podcast and going on the journey with you, use a catchy name. It's easy to remember, a name that's also easy to type in the SEO when people are looking for it. So the name of the company, short and sweet, always works. Yeah, short and sweet.
Well, let's say, for your instance, because there's a school of thought that suggests for CIPRO registration, we're happy to use Amorata.
Okay.
And then you'll have a trading name as and AKA, people that know me personally call me Pumba.
Oh, okay.
No one calls me Taman.
Okay.
So would you then maybe think it's fine, you can create the personalized name for CIPRO registration, but use a trading name that's catchy and...
I like that question as well. I like to think of it, to answer that question is, obviously, if you're starting off, start off with that short and sweet name.
Okay.
But as you gain the customers and you get popular, then you can become clever with what you're saying now in using the AKA name.
Okay.
You remember the way I said, when you break into an industry, you don't want to confuse people. You know, this is your name, but this is your payoff line. That works, but I think once you've gained that customer feedback in terms of people know we clean it all, then you can start off with payoff lines and AKA names, because now we know your service.
Okay.
We know what you're about. Remember, that's how brands are built. You know, a brand has to, when you hear the name Coca-Cola, you automatically know what you're getting. But if I start a cleaning company and I say the cleaning team, yes, it's the cleaning team, but what have they done for me lately? They know the name, but what have you done for me lately? But if I already have a 2-year experience or years experience like you guys, I can be the cleaning team of, it's the cleaning team, AKA, no one cleans it better than us, or, we can play with that because now we already do have a following. But now to be too catchy and too creative in the beginning, but you don't have that mileage behind you or that experience behind you, you're going to come off too cocky without proving yourself first.
Okay.
I like to believe, prove yourself first. Once you're getting that bit of attraction, then you can become cocky with it. Then we know we clean it all. Yeah. They clean everything to the highest whatever. You become catchy with it because now people know that you deliver on your promise. And that, if you think about, that's what a brand is. It delivers on a promise. Coca-Cola, you get the acid, you get the sugar, you get the hyper. They deliver on that promise. So that's also to answer your question. Whatever you name your company, make sure you deliver also on that promise. Because at the end of the day, it's the customer after the work that will say yes or no in terms of commenting on the social sites. Will I use them again or not? So if you're saying we are the clean team, no one does it better than us, but then on Hello Peter, they're like, you see what I mean? So that's why I say it's very important that your name must give that customer promise. So you can't give a name that's this high, but you don't live up to it. Then you got a bit of a problem. That's the way I see it. But other people can beg to differ.
Well, so many of us get stuck on the concept. Now, I like the fact that you decided on cleaning because it was easy to start, and then you came up with the name. So you've got the concept and you've got the name. The big question now is, how did you start?
I like that. How did I start?
How did you start?
We contacted We Clean It All. Hey, if I were you, I'd do the same thing. Google them. Yes, and then that's the honest truth. We said to ourselves after the guys showed us they can clean our couch and showed the passion, we Googled, where can we get the training? Because you can't just start something, but, even though I know you believe in starting something and figuring it out later, which is good for entrepreneurs, use that, but some training and some skill is needed, to take that one step first, second step, like that. So we Googled you guys. We understood that if we bought equipment, there's also training that comes along with it. We did that with Sean, which Sean is a very good trainer. And I learned everything within the first 15 minutes. And I was ready to go. But so to me, to answer your question, how did I start? I Googled We Clean It All. They gave me the training technique. But secondly, I started perfecting what you guys trained me at home. Okay. So another thing I've realized, entrepreneurs, especially in the clean space starting, they always fear when people say, we're a new company, where did I start? The best experience is starting in your own home. Because think about it, you're going to clean other people's homes.
True.
Other people's homes may not have the same design couch as you, but they also have couches. You have leather couches, they have leather couches. You use leather care on your couch, you're going to use leather care on their couches. So what am I trying to say? You get the skill from We Clean It All or any other company, but I assume you get from Clean It All. You learn, they teach you the technique, you buy the equipment from them, and then at home, you start practicing on the carpet at home. Because if you damage the carpet at home, you know the mistake that you did. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are practicing in your own home, you have that comfort of whatever I break or damage, it's in the comfort of my own space. But you're learning in your own home. So what I'm trying to say, you must remember also the products that we use with super glue and stuff, those things are very potent. You can't overdose on certain, materials. You just need to know the right dosage. what better place than to work on your own stuff? Use an old rug that you no more use anymore in the garage. Some people have that old rug that you spilled wine on and you thought, it's a white rug, the wine has damaged it. No, if you use the super glue and use the scrub and stuff like that, and extract it, you've worked on you, and you also use that on your social media site as a demonstration, because no one has been to your house. You act like you've actually done the work at someone else's house.
True.
And so to also extend on your question, how we started and also how we marketed ourselves, that the first pictures we posted on our social sites, we acted like we cleaned other people's homes.
Okay.
But we actually phoned relatives and said, we will come clean your couches, your carpets for free. But we acted like those were customers.
Oh,
So for people that didn't know us, they were like, oh, these people are getting work. But all the time we're doing work for free, getting experience from relatives who are welcoming. You clean my couch for free, clean my carpet for free,
Might as well. Yeah.
Might as well. But we were perfecting our skills with people we knew, doing the work for free. But in the social sites, for people that didn't know, it seemed like, these guys just started a month ago, but look, they're getting work.
Okay.
But meantime, we were just practicing. But when that first customer came, the confidence on us was this high. Because all the practices we've been doing at home and our relatives, we were ready for that first customer and then got the ball rolling.
And who was your first customer? Where'd you get the first customer?
I like that. I may be young, but I've got an old school mind. Okay. You may not agree with my marketing technique because you got more experience than us.
Yes,
I went the old school way. What is the old school way? Is I actually did Corex boards. Because growing up in my time, I know that makes me sound old. In my time, Corex boards are like everywhere. You may not agree with that, but I felt if we are going to make noise in an industry that's saturated, grab people where people are. Traffic, robots. It's illegal, but I wanted to take that risk. That's where I got my first. I looked for the robots that were the most busiest. I made sure my Corex board was catchy. It was you call, we clean. And I listed the top 4 things. Upholstery. So it was like when you stopped at the robot and you looked at the robot, you call, we clean. What? Upholstery, carpets, couches. In the first 5 seconds before the robot went green, you picked up what we do, the name of the company, what we do, the number, and the website. Done. Because remember, Corex board, a person's concentration, especially in traffic, is like 10 seconds.
And the traffic light doesn't close that long.
And people like that. We call, we clean, carpets. So I told them what I can do for them in 10 seconds. They've got, people live on their phones. They just screen grab that. Coming back from work, they called us. I saw your Corex board at what street, what. Can you come? Oh, and then they send pictures of their couches on our WhatsApp line. And then we gave them a quote. And boom, we set up a day and it started from there. I call that traditional old school market. They call it traditional market. But obviously now you need to migrate to they call it hybrid. But if you to talk internet language, social media, Instagram, and we do the fancy video.
YouTube, Maybe let's take a step back there. Now that you've mentioned social media.
Yeah.
Prior to starting a company, you already had your own pages, maybe Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. Now that you've decided to start this cleaning company, I heard you mention that you posted on your Instas and your YouTube,
social
and Twitter, your social pages. Mm-hmm. Did you create a social page separately for the company, or you use your own social page?
I like that question. That's very important. Yes, because you just remember the company has to have its own identity. Okay. I can't be Zak showing you my private life where I'm just using tabang, we're at Zoo Lake, cooler bag, alcohol, and then the next post we're cleaning carpets. Kind of like mixed messaging there. Yeah. Everything has to have its own time. So in other words, cleaning has its own audience. Mm-hmm. So I had to open my own Facebook cleaning for my brand and company. I had to have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn page. And there I posted, obviously you give the information of the company, who we are, is it 100% woman owned or guy?
It's all in your social pages.
Yeah. Remember, when you do these social pages, the info is important first.
Yeah, true.
And then, so to answer your question, it's very important to separate things. You can't put private life in your business. It's not, you're confusing your audience. Okay. Let your brand speak to its audience. So if you're going to be doing modeling, speak modeling. If you're going to be doing cleaning like we're doing, speak cleaning. So it's posting what you can do for people. Because at the end of the day, when people come to your site, Tabang, what can you do for me?
Yes, they come to find out what can you do, and it's a professional company.
Yeah.
You don't want to mix the two.
So imagine me posting us doing cheers after a rugby match, kind of like, where's the cleaning here?
And the next post is you cleaning someone's 100,000 in rag.
You know, unless we're cleaning the stadium after the rugby match.
That's a different story.
You know, yeah.
So now you've got the name, like I said, you've got the company, you've got the name, you've got the social media pages, you're posting, you're advertising.
Yes.
And you've got your first client.
Yes.
But you skipped a step there.
Okay.
When you're posting, you're telling them what you're doing.
Yes.
All right.
What we can do for
What
them.
you can do for them. Costing.
Yes.
How are you pricing these things?
I like that question. Hey, you asking, hey, this guy's asking the right questions. And that's what a lot of people, when they start their business, they sort of are nervous about costing. Your business partner, Chris, if people don't know, he always says, but they've got more experience than me and most of us, know your worth. But then someone watching this podcast is probably thinking, I'm only beginning. I don't have a worth. You know, I don't have experience. But what I did, which a lot of masters did, you always stalk or follow people who have already been doing it. So if you look at most cleaning companies, they mostly on their website have a price list.
Yes.
So I used to compare if cleaning company A is charging $350 for couching and cleaning company C is charging $500, why can't I be in between? So in other words, my costing came in, I don't want to be too cheap and too expensive. I just want to be in between. So if cleaning company A is charging $450 and cleaning company C is charging $500, I can go in at what? $465, but throw in a special. I'll clean your couch for $465, but clean your ottoman for free.
Okay.
You know, add value to your pricing. So people, when they look at all these three codes, they be like, company A, $450, Zak's Amurato, it's $465, but he cleans 2 free ottomans for free on top of the couch for $465. The other company, just the couch, is $500. You most likely go with mine because you're getting 2 ottomans cleaned for free for $465. Well, these two are doing one item for a price that's... So I'm in between. I'm not too cheap and I'm not too expensive. So I always try to be in between. But also add value. What can you also do that won't cost your company? Do it for free. That's how you also attract people. So also in your pricing, add value. Why must I choose you out of these 3 people? Because at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. No one in the cleaning world can say, I can clean a couch better than you. Maybe you can, but we can only see that when it's all said and done. But before the job is done, people are just looking at quotes.
True.
You know,
Customers compare the codes like for like, and then the cheapest code usually wins.
The cheapest code usually wins. So in my example, 450 is the cheapest.
Yeah.
But Zak's company, in between these two, is going to clean your 2 ottomans for free on top of that. So they must... And that's an extra on that 450 is an extra 15 rand.
You add value, Maybe if I might just add on to that, Zak, in our experience, we realize that most times when you are trying to break into an industry, you subsidize the client.
Okay.
And that's when most businesses actually lose a lot of money. So you're right when you say, don't be the cheapest, nor to be the most expensive. Be somewhere in the middle so that you avoid subsidizing the client. Or another alternative, if you're not too sure about costing, maybe price your operating cost, how much it's actually going to cost you to deliver the service, then just add your markup.
And petrol and stuff like that.
Your petrol, employees if you have.
Yeah. I like your question, but let's be honest about it's broad.
Yeah.
In this cleaning business, especially startups, we were lucky that we could afford our own van.
Okay.
Meaning that it was branded, we could put our equipment inside. Other people start this side hustle or start this business having a job. There was a guy, he's passed on, RIP to him. I don't want to, mock at other people's businesses, but because it's all about waking it all. He used to work at a call center. He bought your equipment. He used to work at a call center. When he knocked off at 5 o'clock, he'd take the K15, what is it called?
The K53.
He'd have it in his hatchback car in the boot.
Yeah.
You'll see why I'm telling you this. You must remember, and it also goes to pricing and subsidizing, stuff like that. He worked at a call center, so he already budgeted petrol to go to work, but after work go clean people's carpets.
Okay.
So then you have us who got their own van, who are doing this without going to work, and it's our business.
It's your business.
We have to make this work. So we also have to look at those two scenarios, that our pricings will be different because our budgeting is different. We run around with our van the whole week. He runs around going to work, and after hours, also on the weekends, has to go clean to actually get the side hustle going. Our operating costs are going to be more because we, Monday to Friday, in the morning and throughout the whole day, are focusing on this. He just leaves work at 5, goes cleans carpets until 8 p.m.
Okay.
So his running costs won't be as much as ours because we've been running the
van
whole
the
day,
entire day,
you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
But I just thought I'd give that, more broader context because everyone in this cleaning business has a different background.
Okay.
And I thought it was only fair to, compare apples with apples, and every person's scenario is different. But to answer your question, one thing I learned about from you and Chris is that if you are based in Midrand and you get a potential client in Pretoria, you should know the distance between Midrand and Pretoria. Is it worth going to a client just to clean the couch for 500? It goes back to your question. How much profit are you making, and how much expenses are you going to incur? Is it worth it? How about in that same call, in that same quote, you say, look, even though you want me to clean your couch for 500, why don't we make it 1,000, and you add other things they may have to make your trip from Midrand to Pretoria worthwhile?
Smart. That's smart.
Think about it.
That's very smart.
Another thing on top of that, while we're staying this subject, even if the client says to you, no, I've only got this couch for 500, it's fine. You're starting off. Remember, once you start off, a beggar can't be a chooser.
Yeah.
I was willing to take that pain. My wife was against it.
I remember very well.
And why was I willing to? Because remember, I wanted to start so bad because I wanted the experience. Mm-hmm. I wanted the pictures. I wanted to get busy. Mm-hmm. So I was willing to take that pain and not make profit because I had to learn. Remember, when you're learning, you are going to be bruised.
True.
And if you're still waiting for that perfect client, how long am I going to wait? If I'm still competing with big guys like you guys. You understand? So I was willing to lose and take the pain, but this one thing I did. Even though I went there for 500 for a couch, while I was still doing the job, I tell my wife, send the client a secondary quote that if ever, while I'm still there, if he had to add 1, 2, 3, it's another 350.
Oh yes, yeah, and you're there already.
There you go.
Yeah.
We can clean his car. We've got the equipment to valet his car. Cleaning the carpets and what for 150. I've now made 650 when I came for 500 rand. Are you with me?
I mean, yes. So your operating costs are the same, but now you're getting more money from.
And if you do
the job,
pest control, you look around for. You're cleaning his house. You can see if he's got an ant problem. If you already got the pest control certificate, send a secondary code while you're still there, or talk to the guy and say, "I see you've got an ant problem. I also have pest control certificate and equipment in my van." Even though you charge, let's say 500, you can say to him, while I'm here, I can give you a special for 250. You came there for 500. He's now going to say 250. Add it on. You've now made 750 rand from a call you got for 500.
That's thinking on the spot. And I like that. I've never actually thought about that, but it's called cross-selling, upselling. That means you need to be comfortable with what you're presenting, be comfortable with the skill level of your staff if you have staff, and also be able to do the job.
And adding on top of that, that's why when entrepreneurs say think out the box, when I said to you I was willing to take the pain and not make profit, I knew the plan when I got there was that he thought I was coming for 500, but once I'm there, I sold him other value that I knew he had money. You must remember, customers are clever.
Okay.
They, like you said, the cheapest quote always wins. They don't mind paying less for more. But when you are already there and you can give them what is a so-called discount, they might just take it. They might just take the bait. But make your value proposition of a discount worth their while. If you came in their driveway, the car is dirty. Sir, I've just finished your upholstery, cleaning your couch. I can also clean, I see in your car it's dusty, but I can clean your car valet and inside for an extra 150. 500 became 650. That 150, I used it for petrol to go back.
Actually, let me put you to the test. You know, you mentioned thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So far, we've had this conversation on the assumption that you have the money to purchase the machines. You have the money to go to clean it all and train.
Yeah.
You have the van. Let's for a minute. Let's just take it back. You're an average girl, guy in the township. You're unemployed. You have no access to capital, and you've come up with this idea that you want to clean a cleaning company.
Yeah.
What message do you have for that person?
I like that. When I started getting cleaning jobs in the township, Soweto, car washes are a big thing in any township. I don't care what province you are. When I started cleaning carpets, because my van was branded a 1400, the first 1400s. Everyone passed it. They're young guys. They wanted to do what I was doing, but they knew the equipment was expensive. But already the guys on the side of the street who already started, they started with a bucket. Remember, in most townships, they already cleaned abokoko. They already cleaned their own carpets and they hang it on the wall.
Yes.
Now, to answer your question, I am either a young, it doesn't matter what age, I am a black South African woman or guy in any province. I don't have funding.
Yes.
But I have an access to a bucket.
A bucket, yes.
The super blue is how much?
It's cheap.
The 5 liters, how much? 80 rand?
80 rand, yes.
That money you use to buy a 6-pack that you can buy any other time. Save it to buy super blue.
Yeah.
Bucket.
The 350 yes. From the post office. The 350, yes.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
listen, take notes.
The 350, yeah.
Every township, no matter how poor you are, there's a bucket. Just like there's a stray dog somewhere. But there's a bucket. Buy the super blue. You remember, if you can start your cleaning company with a bucket from home, microfiber cloth, the super blue you can buy from, we cleaned it all for, it's 85 rand for
85 rand for 5 liters.
You take that super blue scobbing brush, you go to abokoko, you start knocking doors. Isaac, nyanbulisa nonke abokoko, abomkhulu, what. Make a board, a box. If the street guys, the homeless guys can do it, you can do it. Go around, tell the guys, spread the word, go to me and clean my carpet. Start cleaning carpets for 250. It's summertime, it dries quicker. So with a bucket, super blue for 85 rand and water, microfiber cloth and a scobbing brush, I'm fit.
Sure. No excuse. No excuse.
And the thing is, even though you don't have the extractor, which is the K53 thing,
machine, yes.
if you can start the job early with the sun out like it is now, if you started the job at 9, no matter how wet the carpet is, and you've put it in the hot sun, I am sure maybe by 4 o'clock, the drying would have,
It would be perfectly dry by then.
Yeah, but make sure you put it in the direct sun.
Sunlight, yes.
Yeah, let's be clear about that.
Make sure you rinse it. Make sure you rinse it well. You know, Zach, traditionally, we are told that when you want to start a company, first go to CIPC, register the company, open a bank account, come up with a business plan, strategy. There's a lot of admin below. And since you and I have started talking, you haven't mentioned that part. Why so?
Why so? Because there's not a lot of red tape in what you're saying, but the most important thing about any business or entrepreneur is to start.
Just start.
Yeah. You must remember, going back to your question, I am so-and-so ekasi. I don't have that much funding. Most likely I might get the 350, but if I don't, I've already told you, it's super blue at weekly roll is 85 rand for a 5 liter. Anyone can get access to a bucket, telescoping brush, and a microfiber cloth. You start. Obviously, there you are starting small. When you start now cleaning from 2 mattresses or 2 carpets a week to 10 carpets a week, then we can move on to registering a company, because now you're getting established. People must not start saying, Guti, we need to take this guy seriously. You understand? Now the branding needs to happen. People now need to identify weekly or tabang cleaning or whatever you want to call. People now need to identify. Remember when I said to you earlier, the brand promise.
True.
You remember in the beginning you were starting. You now went from 2 carpets or 2 mattresses a week to 10 carpets. So you're mastering your craft. That's why more and more people are coming to you. More and more people wouldn't come to you if you're not doing a good job, right? So from 2 to 10, you're now making more than you started with. Now you have money to go register. Now you have money to climb a taxi to go to Pretoria or wherever to register. You can do it online, but some of us Wi-Fi.
Just start.
And most of us, we use airtime for Mjolo. Being honest.
Just start.
Yes, just start. And then you build up. And I think that's another, not a mistake, that's another thing in this social media world, people. You always look at people who are already there.
Okay.
Don't click on your social media and look at We Clean It All and want to be a We Clean It All tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. They also had a journey to actually embark on. Focus on your journey. Step by step. Learn. There will be mistakes. There will be disappointment. I remember many times on the WhatsApp group, you and Chris, I'd ask when the carpet, the coloring was a bit, what do we do from then? Because these things are going to happen. These carpets are different. Some are Persian, some are synthetic. Some, you know what I'm saying? Mistakes will happen, but it's how you in that situation are going to handle the situation. That's why I say that the registering of the company will come a bit later, because at the end of the day, that's when you feel like I'm now getting established. We need to crawl before we walk. The registering part comes on the walking part.
On the walking stage.
The crawling part is we start.
Just start.
And getting our name and what we're doing out there. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
If you're gonna take anything from this episode, is just start. Just start. In our next episode, we plan to discuss how to move from the first client that Zak had to the second and more, and the daily operations. What do you do on a day-to-day in a cleaning company? But then again, just start. Zak, thank you for joining us.
Oh no, it was a great pleasure, and I hope I was useful. And I'm glad to be part of history, because I feel like this is one step to a journey of 1,000 miles. So I'm glad I was the first guest.
Yeah, but we'll call you again because now you're at your first client.
Okay.
And later on, we'll call you again and say, now that you've had your first client, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the 100th client.
I like the sound of that. I was useful.
Join us again in our next episode where we discuss how to move from the first to the second, third, and fifth client, and the daily operations, what you do on a daily basis in your cleaning company. Once again, thank you for joining us at Life Training Center. Till we meet again, shapele, shap shap.